Been a while since it felt like this. Been a while since it felt like this. Been a while since it felt like
Hello and welcome to Fucking Reality Queens. I'm Amelia.
And I'm Sarah.
And it's bullshit day.
Or maybe it's a day of recaps.
So grab whatever your vice is and let's get the show started. Okay, it's Tuesday.
We're back.
Woo-woo.
New week.
New week.
New week.
A new week that I want to sit and talk about some very stressful stuff, like being in relationship with or living with a narcissistic asshole. Along with how it drives you to drinking.
It can. It really can. I tell you what, living with a narcissist or being in love with a narcissist or having a family member that's a narcissist is taxing on everyone, because that's literally what they do. They drain you of every single thing you have, and then they toss you aside like you're nothing when you finally have nothing left. And that is a very difficult place to be in.
I want to know, do they realize that they're narcissist?
Not usually. And when you try and point it out to them,
how do you identify?
They will usually turn it around on you and come up with some diagnosis for you. They'll call you a sociopath or, something along those lines. They try and project their own narcissism onto you. They're also some of the best gaslighters in the entire world.
Oh, amen. Amen. Well, so what brings this whole topic to surface for me is I recently had an encounter with a person of my past who is a very narcissistic person. And yeah, they kind of drove me to a little drinking tonight.
They drove me to drinking, just you telling me the story. Oh my God. I think I have PTSD because, my husband and my late husband, along with his mental illness, was very narcissistic, which a lot of people who suffer from mental illness in the way that he did are. They just kind of go hand in hand with one another. And I didn't realize it for a lot of years that that's what I was dealing with, and actually didn't fully come into focus until he was gone. And I was able to look back and had the time to sit and learn more about things because I was so engrossed in that relationship and so concerned about keeping him alive that I wasn't realizing a lot of what I was dealing with in him as far as being narcissistic. And, a lot of people will say taking your life is one of the most selfish things you can do. And narcissists are extremely selfish. So it all makes sense. So you telling me your story drove me also to drinking.
Why do I still let people, some people hold power over me? I don't understand. I don't understand.
There's
got to be a title for me.
Oh, I'm sure there is. Well, there's a label for everything these days. There is a label for everything these days. If we can have 70 some odd genders, there's a label for you. I promise.
Well, somebody needs to figure out what my label is.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, I will tell you. Okay, this is a little bit off the topic of narcissistic people. And it's just because I have to share this story really quick. Did you end up, I don't know if I sent it to you. I had my first spotting from TikTok.
No,
Yes. Okay, so I'll have to send it to you. So, okay, first off, I had my first troll on TikTok. I'm very proud of myself. So that means I'm doing something
right?
when you get a troll. And so I got my first troll. Well, then I was out shopping this weekend and this lady who happens to be a manager at a store I went into, she's like, "Hey, girl." And I'm like, "Hey." And she's like, I know you from TikTok. And I was like, oh my, okay. And she's like, I'm like, maybe not, because a lot of people are on TikTok,
right?
These days. Well, then she's like, "Girl, this is you, right?" And it was me.
Oh, how funny.
Was me. And she sat there and said, "Girl, did you see you got a troll?" I said, as a matter of fact, I did. And she goes, well, I commented to it. And I was like, oh, did you? I was like, oh, God love you. And so I went to look and see, and she's like, will you do a video with me? I was like, absolutely. And so she then posted as a matter of fact, right now, because we got video camera coming. I'm going to see if I can pull this up really quick to show you. I was like, oh, damn. So I did a video with her. And so it's featured on my TikTok. And then to boot, she ended up, hold on, where is it? She ended up incorporating it into a whole nother TikTok. So I did this Viking TikTok first. Okay, you see it? Mm-hmm. I'm showing you. So I did this Viking one. Well, I get a troll who's like, of course, whoever it is, they're like, what did I just watch? That's what they comment. And so I had already thought I had handled this because I was like, me being bored and trying filters, Mm-hmm. Well, this beautiful, amazing woman who felt the urge to defend my honor was like, you just watched a beautiful queen do her thing, baby. If mad, take your attention elsewhere and get off her dick. That's what she put. She straight up put that. And I was like, I loved it. And that's when she was like, here, will you do a video with me? And I said, absolutely. And so here, I'm going to show you. There's the lady that recognized me. And so she's flipping a bird and I started flipping the bird.
Funny. Cute. She's pretty.
And so
she's really pretty.
Yeah. She is. And then she made a TikTok, another TikTok for the day and added the little clip of me in there.
Oh, how cute.
So I just had to share really quick. I had my first.
I love it.
My first TikTok sighting.
My husband and I went into Quick Trip the other day, and the guy behind the counter thought that he was someone from TikTok. He's like, "Hey, you're that guy from TikTok. Fist bump." And my husband's like, "Okay." He didn't say he wasn't, because he's like, he told me I was. He didn't ask me if I was. He told me I was.
Yeah, because I don't think your husband's ever posted a TikTok.
Never once.
He follows. He follows me on TikTok.
He sends TikToks to me all day long, but he's never once created a TikTok. So that was pretty funny. But that guy was convinced. Like, I know you from TikTok. Okay.
Well, here's my thing. I'm thinking that my TikTok's starting to bring the attention. And if people are starting to notice it, I'm thinking that's what kind of got the attention of this narcissistic asshole.
Yeah, probably.
Because all of a sudden they were in my DMs and bitching at me about things. I'm like, oh my God, can you just let it go? Let it go.
They can't. Well, because there's no focus on that person. I mean, if they're feeling like they're not getting attention that you're getting attention that they could be getting, then that's, that's going to be a problem for them because it all has to be about them all the time. The time. And when you live with someone like that, it is exhausting. I mean, they literally, like we said, take everything from you.
My ex after my ex, like after my ex-husband.
Yeah.
And I was with him for a little while. And he definitely, I don't know. It's just like, oh, sweet Jesus. Speaking of TikTok, so really quick, I do have to show you something else. It's kind of funny. You'll get a good, and I'm showing you this in honor of the fact that I have physical therapy tomorrow. And you know how we joke around about being PT. Mm-hmm. So my daughter Madison sent me this. It says, me going into PT. Now see, she's got the big glass of wine.
Yeah. She pulled her underwear down. That's fucking hilarious. I love that.
Pulls her underwear down to her calves and starts, because my PT guy has me put these elastic bands around my calves, and I have to do these little side steps thing. So the fact that she found this thing, and it legit, the thing it says on it says, I can't wait to show this to my physical therapist. And I'm going to show it to my physical therapist tomorrow and be like, look
they'll
what I got.
Mm-hmm. They will think it's hilarious.
I think they'll fucking get a chuckle.
Yeah, they definitely will.
I at least have that happy thought because I enjoy my physical therapy time because I'm really enjoying getting exercise
Yeah.
that is geared in towards certain things. This is sorry. Okay, everybody, you're gonna have to hear me share a little bit of my narcissistic story with good old Sarah here. So I left off part of the story I was telling you earlier.
Okay.
And this person likes to throw in my face, I see that you are now trying to be about yourself and you're trying to make yourself a focus. But sometimes other people have to be taken into consideration. I'm like, what are you fucking talking about?
Yeah, really.
And excuse me, I will be about myself.
What were
Sorry.
they referring to?
They were referring to, I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, what am I, other than, we're doing a podcast.
Right.
I am putting myself before others right now.
Right.
I really am. I've always put myself on the back burner.
Right.
And I'm trying to, for once, put myself forward and
Right.
do. And I think that this narcissistic a-hole finds that as a problem.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure.
Even though they're not involved.
Right. I'm sure.
But I think, I guess I'm being creeped on.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
So.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
God. But anyway. Okay, sorry.
But it's
sorry,
difficult.
everybody. It's freaking Tuesday. We always talk about just rambling bullshit. So deal with it.
It's very, very difficult. Being in a relationship with a narcissist or having, a narcissist in your family, because they don't identify that in themselves. And for people that love them, truly love them, it can be very, very hard because, most people have the ability to look inward and go, am I doing this thing? Am I doing something wrong? What can I do to be better? All of those things. And when a narcissist is constantly telling you you're failing, you're not doing enough, you're the one that's selfish, all of those things, you internalize that and you're trying to find ways to fix it. And it doesn't need to be fixed because it's not true. None of it is true, or the majority of it's not true. Or there may be, a gram of truth. I'm not even going to say an ounce, or maybe a gram of truth to it, but they make it into, a kilo of truth, and it's not. And it's draining. I mean, it is literally exhausting.
So here's my thing is, when should a person point out, or should you point out to a person that they're being narcissistic? And if so, how do you go about it?
Oh gosh. I absolutely think
Can
me,
you?
Yeah. Because I tell you what, my husband was very narcissistic. I wouldn't necessarily classify him as a full narcissist. Just life experiences had made him extremely jaded. And through that, being jaded, he also became very self-centered. He wasn't given a lot of the tools that most of us receive, like from our parents or whoever raised us, from our guardians, things that we get starting in infancy, like he didn't get. So he exhibited a lot of narcissistic behavior. And I did point those things out to him, the difference, like, this is how you're acting and this is how I'm acting, and try and look inward and see where maybe you could have done that differently or seen my point of view. Can you see my point of view? And when he was able to see my point of view after a while, or a different point of view, didn't even have to be mine, but just in a different way. I started realizing he wasn't a full-on narcissist. He just didn't have the tools. But I think that it is necessary sometimes to, point things out and say, okay, this is what you're saying.
Are narcissistics created, or is it just a flaw that is like,
I think it is a genetic or wiring flaw. I really do. I believe that if you are a full-on narcissist, that you're hardwired that way. because I do believe, like I said, there is a difference in exhibiting narcissistic behavior and being a full-on narcissist. And my first husband was a narcissist. It was a character flaw. My second husband just didn't have the tools or anybody to, talk through a lot of things with him that most people get. Like I said, starting in infancy.
Can it be cured? Or not necessarily cured, but reined in, do you think?
I don't, for an actual narcissist, I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I don't believe that they have the actual capability of looking inward and seeing it. I don't.
See, my sister and I had a whole discussion about mental illness on Mother's Day, of all things. And she was talking about the difference between a sociopath and a psychopath.
Right.
And she was talking about how, like, a psychopath, you legit cannot cure that. You cannot change it. But there, with sociopaths, there are some you can do something about it, just like they've now found a way to not necessarily cure, but treat, schizophrenia, stuff like that.
Yep.
And but it's one of those things that she legit sat there and said, when it comes to a psychopath, she said, I really wish there was a way to find out if there's a genetic gene that is connected to.
Yep.
And she legit said, if you could find out if the baby that is growing inside the womb is going to be a psychopath, she's like, it's the one and only time that she would be okay with termination.
Right. And
because
it's a really good question because I mean, you're if that's something you can know and you have that knowledge, I always say knowledge is power. And with you have knowledge, it also comes responsibility. So if you have that knowledge, do you have a responsibility to society to keep them out of harm's way? Because psychopaths are dangerous. They're a danger to society, to themselves and society. So that would be really good information to know. I kind of agree with her. It would be hard, but that's a decision I would have to consider.
Yeah. I mean, we got in I'll tell you what, for a Mother's Day, it was a pretty morbid discussion. I'm like, why the fuck are we sitting there? Because it's just on Mother's Day, it was just my mom and my sister and I, and just that. I mean, in the past, we occasionally would have our daughters come / granddaughters, but my mom this year was like, no, I just want my children.
Yeah.
If she could have had her way, my brother would have been there, but it was not in the cards. I know that next year he's planning on trying to come for Mother's Day.
Oh, that would be
because
good.
she's been begging and begging and begging. And
is he one of those that his birthday falls on Mother's Day sometimes as well? Or not as often?
Or close to, because actually yesterday was my brother's birthday, which happy birthday, B-Man. Belated. Anyway, yesterday was his birthday. So the S-Man's birthday landed on Mother's Day this year.
Yeah.
And so it really sucked for him. He's 9. So luckily every 6 years I only have to contend with, the Mother's Day thing, which is perfect because that means at 15, I won't be having to deal with the battle of a sweet 16 with Mother's Day. Oh my God.
Is your boy going to want to get called Sweet 16 as a boy? I think that's reserved for girls, isn't it? Isn't it?
I don't know, because anymore these days, I don't know how people refer to themselves.
That's true.
Could very well.
Oh my gosh.
He very well could want a Sweet 16. I don't know.
God love him if he does. That's okay.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, my son was born on Mother's Day. And I always love it when his birthday falls on Mother's Day. I got all kinds of cool stuff from him being born on Mother's Day. It worked out. It worked out. It worked out.
I'll tell you what, girl, being back in the wine club. If you notice, I have my glass back out.
I did notice. I did. I love
my little party cup that has been there since day one.
Yep.
It had been hiding out for a while, and I felt like naked. And now it's back.
I like it. I know. I need to get
So
me
I'm
a
happy.
new shot glass because, you know, I'm using styrofoam cups as a
Yeah,
shot glass.
you need. Yeah, my brother's probably right now going, no. We just need to get you a little shot glass that looks like your support cup.
I do. I really do. That would be perfect. Oh my gosh, that would be perfect.
I am going to search one out.
I
By
would
the
love
way,
that.
okay, this is completely off topic because me saying search it out made me think about, okay, when I'm on the cruise, I'm going to find you a shot glass that'll be appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
But then that just snowballed in my head in like a matter of seconds. And totally getting tank tops for myself and one of our cruise companions that says, I'm drunk. If lost, find my friend. And then the shirt, the other tank top says, I'm the friend. I'm drunk too. Find somebody else.
That's cute. I like it. Oh gosh, I like it. That's so cute.
I'm getting that. I've already ordered it, so it's coming. So I'm just like, appropriate. But anyway, so I'll move on from there. back to narcissistic and sociopaths and psychopaths and the rest of mental illness is something not to joke about, though.
No, it's really not. It's really, really not. It's so hard.
I wonder what the warning signs are. Like, legit, can you like even just on the narcissistic land or like, you know, spectrum, can you find it? Like, can you gauge it and find out if like your child's going to be a narcissistic asshole?
I don't know.
So that you can put a disclaimer on them before they end up marrying somebody. Hey, look.
I'm sure there is.
Love you,
because I mean,
but you need to know you're going to marry a narcissistic asshole.
Well, I think so. I think so because I think if you're, you know, paying attention, even your child is going to exhibit those things. They're going to make everything about them. They're going to always be the victim. They're going to be extremely needy. You know, there's going to be things that are.
Oh, don't say that because that means I might be potentially raising one right now.
Well, you might be. You never know. You never know.
All jokes aside, I have sweet little men that I'm raising.
No, you do. You've got good kids. You've got good kids.
I got lucky.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for karma to bite me in the ass. So. I think it's bite me in the ass as far as relationships with other men. That's where it's coming in. It's like, okay, karma's going to give me good kids. But as far as life partners go or anybody that I share a bit of my life with, that's where I'm going to get fucked.
Yep.
It's going to be like, here, I'll just bend you over and fucking ream you really quick.
Right. Yep.
This is what you get. You got good kids, but take this, bitch.
You know, it took me a long time to understand anything about mental illness because, you know, I don't suffer from, I mean, I think all of us have a little something somewhere, you know, they could diagnose us with something.
Yeah, because if people don't say that they don't, to an extent, suffer from a little bit of depression or even a little bit of anxiety, because everybody feels anxiety.
Everybody has a little bit. I mean, they're
lying to themselves and they're lying to everybody else.
It may not necessarily be uncontrollable, but everybody deals with it to some degree. But to understand that there are things that can happen internally that you literally have no control over, it took me a long time. It took me a long time to understand that and come to grips with it. Because, you know, my first husband suffered his entire life pretty much. And looking back, I realized how early on I saw the signs, but I didn't believe that it was something that he couldn't control. I thought he just chose not to. You know, it's just easier. Yeah. You know, it's easier to not deal with things, or you like being able to use it as an excuse, or, you know, whatever. Like I did not realize for a long time that it was literally uncontrollable. And, you know, my husband, my son, no, not him either. My brother, I'll get it right in a moment, is kind of dealing with the same thing because his wife suffers from severe depression and anxiety, the kind that is uncontrollable.
And then now you compile postpartum on
Uh-huh.
top. Oh, that's
Yeah,
gotta be like
she's in a rough
triple
spot.
whammy.
It is. It really, really is. And he doesn't. He doesn't suffer from those things. And I'm trying to get him to kind of self-reflect, because although he may not suffer from those mental illness things that are uncontrollable, he has his own issues. Like he's got issues with anger and some other things that are a result from his head injury that are beyond his control. And so he needs to look inward and see that how you are unable to control these anger outbursts and those things, she's unable to control her depression and anxiety and unrealistic, thoughts and worries about things. But it's the same, she can't control it any better than you do. You need to have some grace and compassion and understanding with her. Back the fuck off. Like,
Yeah.
You're making it worse. She could do the same to you and she's not. So, do your research or do whatever you have to do to understand it.
What is the number again? That 3-digit number, is it 988 or what is it for mental illness?
881.
For people that 881?
Mhm.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
People
Or is
out
it
there,
8
if you're
or is it
struggling,
811? Let me double check because I know
let
it's
us double
eights and
check
ones.
because there
I know
is
it's eights and ones. It's terrible.
we have
You'd think
to
I would know.
get that. If you feel like you or someone is struggling, there is a hotline, just like there's the 211 to help with resources in
Right.
different areas to help with housing, heating, air, whatever. There's also one for mental illness, and it's a nationwide one. And, if you feel like you need to reach out,
Of course, now that I'm looking
don't
up, it's
suffer in silence. Don't feel like you're alone, people. And if you're a narcissistic asshole,
I'm sorry.
try to
It's
rein yourself in.
988. 988.
Okay, it's 988. Okay. So 988, if you feel like you are having, just, as far as I know, you can even call that and just to talk
Yeah, I believe so.
and stuff.
Yeah, if you just need someone to talk to, just talk you off the ledge or whatever.
Yeah, please, 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 because know that you are worth being here in this world.
Mhm.
And whether you realize it, there are people that care about you, even as strangers. We
Yep.
care about you.
It's
You
true.
count.
You count. You matter.
And
everything's
that's my
temporary.
thing is, yeah.
Every situation
Here's
is
the
temporary.
thing. A lot of people need affirmation, and you don't really realize that. And I heard somebody bitch recently about that. It's like, why does everybody have to be told this and that? And I'm like, and it was an older person, and I get it that back in the day, a lot of people did everything in silence.
Mhm.
And I do think that to some extent we have gone overboard.
Right.
But I do think, though, that we shouldn't regress so far back into the whole, suffering in silence.
Right. I agree.
And, I tried to all the time, like even when I'm going through a damn drive-through, I'm making sure that when I'm talking to the people over that little intercom ordering my food, I'm like, thank you so very much. I'm like, when I get up, I kind of threw a person off at freaking Burger King today because I went to Burger King this morning and they're like, blah, 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 your order is blah, 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 and you're awesome. And I was like, I'm so tired of freaking, okay, but I get it. Burger King's doing affirmation for everybody.
But
So
you
I
rock.
made a point
Yep.
of, you rock. I made a point of when I got up there to the checkout to pay and get my, 2 egg, ham, and cheese croissant sandwiches I got for the boys.
I love those.
Yeah, they're so damn good. And they're so cheap. $5.49 for 2 of them. You can't go over to McDonald's and get shit for that. But anyway.
Nope.
Unless it's fries. But I made a point of letting the person know, thank you so very much. You rock too. And I appreciate
Did you happen to go to the one close to your house?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so every time I'm around, I stop over there and I get a lime Coke, and it's usually about the same time of day. And it's a little dark-headed girl. Was it that girl?
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah.
With long nails?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's always got like long, super long, cool nails. I think the last time I saw her, which wasn't that long ago, It was when I was here last week to watch my niece. There last week to watch my niece. She had them purple. They were like a purple ombre. They looked really cool. Anyway, I love that girl.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I love that girl.
Well, I had just done the pearl ombre. Well, I've now done a different minor glitter. Notice how short they are?
Yeah, I like it.
People, most excruciating pain in my life. I was unloading
awful.
freaking groceries out of the back of into the back of my car, and I hit my big thumbnail, which I had just got my nails done, and it literally ripped not just my fake nail, but my real nail up. Blood gushing everywhere. Thought I was going to pass out. It was horrible. I'm still recovering from it.
It's terrible. That's terrible.
When I went and got my fills done, because my beautiful daughter, Madison, God love you. Thank you so very much. For Mother's Day, the day before, she took me out to eat at this restaurant called Cav, which is Mediterranean.
Yep, Cava.
And I love it.
Yep.
Yeah, Cava. That's
Cava.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
C-A-V-A.
Oh, I love that place. So she took me there, and then we went and got our nails done. And I had them chopped down quite a bit. I told the lady, I was like, I've just got to take a break for a moment, but I still want my nails. I didn't want her to take them all off and then have to deal with that. I was like, no, just chop them down. And I'll let them grow out, and you keep filling them in. But now I did this sparkly tan.
I like it. I like it.
I like neutral, but
I like
things like that. But anyway, back to the affirmation thing.
Right, yes.
I always try to make a point of telling the different people at the drive-through. I always say, I appreciate you.
Me too.
I tell people that all the time.
Me too. Especially on holidays and stuff.
Them.
Man, the retail people on the holidays, I'm always telling them, thank you so much for being here today. I know you would much rather be with your families. So thank you. I want you to know someone appreciates the fact that you came into work today, because I do. I really, really do. I wouldn't want to have to work on a holiday and dealing with asshole people in the fucking retail world. I mean, I've done it and I didn't like it,
Yeah.
So I'm the same way. I always try and be very, kind to people and find things to compliment them on or, whatever the case may be.
I'm wondering if the narcissistic asshole that is in my life that, on and off, that likes to pop up out of the woodwork and I don't know, check in with me. I'm wondering if they're just not getting enough affirmation, if that's their problem.
Maybe, but they require a whole hell of a lot because there's someone that it has to be about them. The focus has to be on them always. I mean, when you were in that relationship, anytime you had something going on, they immediately had an equal issue. It wouldn't matter what it is.
That's no joke.
I mean, you could literally joke about, I've got stuff coming out of both ends, and all of a sudden he's got stuff coming out of both ends. But
I did that a few times. I made up shit. I'm not gonna lie, people. A few different times it was getting so irritating. So I was like, I'm gonna throw something out there and let's see how long it takes before he diagnoses himself with that.
Yep.
It was like a matter of 30 minutes.
Oh, it was instant, constantly. And, there's that one item that they had been talking about wanting to buy for so long. I want this item. I want this item. I want this item. I want this item. But they don't even know what the fuck it is. That was the thing that got me. It was once it came down to their brass taxes of getting it, they didn't even know what the fuck it was that they wanted. It's
I couldn't even Google it.
Right.
I'll tell you what. I've said it 100 times. I want flowers for Secretary's Day. And that goes for my ex-husband too. Thank you, butthole. You owe me flowers from the years of taking care of your shit, making phone calls, researching, setting things up. I don't know. I guess I have just a big old sticker that is needs to be placed on my forehead that says sucker.
Right. Well, I did the same. Yep. I did the same with my first, in my first relationship. And I swore I wouldn't do it again. I swore I would not do it again. I would not allow someone to expect me to take care of absolutely everything. But I have found myself doing it again. The only difference is when I catch myself now and I rein it in And I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, I'm doing this. I've got to start putting things back on the other person. I'm not made to feel guilty for it, whereas I was before. I was always made to feel
Yeah.
guilty. Anytime I would say, hey, I need you to handle, this thing of yourself. It was always made to feel guilty. Like it was everything was my responsibility. Everything was about them, but yet my responsibility. And it's like,
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting. It is so exhausting. And they never want to make a decision about anything, because if they do, then they're the ones that are going to be held responsible for it. So they're always the ones that are like, you decide. Oh, but then you always the one that are deciding.
They flip it around on you and tell you that you're being controlling.
Yes, exactly. They won't make the decision, but yet you're controlling for always making the decisions. It's like, you cannot win. There is no winning.
No.
There is no winning. There is no even ground. There is none of that. It is exhausting. And I do that to my husband now. He'll say, I don't know, you decide. And I go, if I decide and it's the wrong choice, you cannot say anything about it later. You're not allowed to, because you had the ability to make the decision and you chose not to. So you have to be okay with whatever my choice is. And they're usually okay with it. But, there's so many things when you're living in that world that you just don't even realize how bad they are until you take a step back, and you've had time to take a step back. And now you're seeing just how deep it goes.
Yeah.
How draining it is. Completely taxing.
Talking about taking a step back, I think I'm going to take a step back, refill my wine, call it quits for the night. Because I am like, for real, about ready to pull my hair out the more I start thinking about the narcissistic shit.
Yeah, I know. It's exhausting.
For the last
It is exhausting.
few days.
Well, I think tomorrow we are just going to cover Married at First Sight on both sides of the world. I think this is going to be the only two we're covering tomorrow, because there's quite a bit with UK, with the whole Whitney.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Yes.
Whitney, Matt, Duca, Gemma thing. So I figure we'll probably talk a little bit at length about that.
I've never been so angry.
I know. And then we need to pick up some more stuff. And I know there's some stuff that has started. So we need to make a decision as to what else?
Need to cover the matchmaker one.
Oh, yeah. Did that just start?
Yeah, I think it did.
I think it just started, because I was trying to think.
It may have launched a couple weeks ago, and it may be one of those binge watching type situations.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter. I can't remember if it's because once in a blue moon, Netflix does, like when we have The Circle.
Yeah,
which I wish that would come back.
I know, I love The Circle.
I'm ready for the next season of The Circle. Anyway, I think it might be that way. We'll have to check and see.
Well, and wasn't TLC coming out with a new one, Match Me Abroad? And
yes,
that one may have just started. That one may have actually taken the place of Brother Husbands. It may have just launched yesterday. I have to look and see.
Well, look and see, because I would love to start covering them. I'd love to get back to I keep saying I love our overseas stuff. I love our stuff that takes place in India.
Yes, me too.
And I love our place that takes place that are of our Asian community. I love it.
Me too.
I love all of them.
Okay, Match Me Abroad started
on
the 15th on Monday.
Okay,
so we could start it as well.
Okay,
very, very soon.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, let's start it. Let's watch it and get it started next week.
Yeah, sounds good.
How about that?
Yeah, we'll be a week behind, but I'm okay with that. We'll be okay.
Yeah, because we can quickly catch up.
Yeah,
we can do a double.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Sounds good.
That wouldn't be too hard. So,
all right, everyone, you heard it here first.
And you listen to us bitch about narcissistic people
because they suck.
A few.
And
suck. By the way, everybody, we've now got our microphones back in, so we are getting ready to, and we got new cameras in, so we're getting ready to launch our video here real soon. I know we we had planned on doing it for 100th episode, but we did miss it. And we do apologize. Again, it never fails. Technical issues always freaking happen.
Yep. I was
at the
listening
most
to
inopportune time.
They do. I was listening to Sarah Fraser's show the other day, and she was talking about the exact same thing. She said, I no longer say I'm going to do anything in the future unless it's something that I am doing in the next day or so, and I have everything set up. I am not putting anything out there and prepping for anything anymore, because as soon as I do, something happens and it makes a liar out of me. And I thought, okay,
and
see,
that is what has happened to us on like a few different things, and I always feel so fucking bad. So
yeah,
do apologize, people, but we are getting it lined up. That's all I'm gonna say.
There you
We're
go.
getting it
That's
lined
it.
up.
When it's
So-
out there, then we'll tell you. Once it launches, then
and
we'll
you
tell
guys will be excited because you'll finally get to see the real
I know.
faces.
See who we actually are.
Behind, whatever the fuck. Amelia and Sarah. Yeah, drink some more. There we go.
Drink some more, Amelia.
I'm going to. All right, everybody. We will talk to you tomorrow at you, whatever we want to call it.
Exactly.
We'll yammer tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye. All right, Sarah. Ramble that shit.
All right, here we go. We are now available on Patreon. For less than a cup of coffee a month, you can get bonus episodes, extended episodes, and join in on future fun events. You can follow us on all social media. We are FUKING Reality Queens on Facebook because, well, fuck Facebook. We are available on Twitter at FRQ_Amelia Sarah. We are Fucking Reality Queens on TikTok and Snapchat. You can visit us on our website at www.fuckingrealityqueens.com. You can also send us an email at podcast@fuckingrealityqueens.com. Please leave us a comment or question on our contact us page. We absolutely love receiving those. And also leave us a 5-star rating, rate, follow, review, wherever you get your podcasts. And as always, Fucking Reality Queens is a Whaley production.
Wicka, wicka, wah, wah. And that's a wrap.